Good morning, YouTube, and welcome back to Retired for Life. So it's kind of a rushed day today. We've had pretty intense rain for the last couple of days, so things are going to be pretty wet. And we have a birthday party for Sarah's niece to get to this afternoon, so I won't be out there for very long. But I do want to get out and see if I can get that other log, the one that's still partway up the hill, pulled all the way down to the bottom. And I want to do a quick check of the trail that I cut last year. This is one that comes off of the bottom of that hill, and that would make it much easier to tow those logs back with our log puller. So we'll see how that looks. So hopefully the trail isn't too bad, but I haven't been on it yet this year. I'm going to take my small battery-powered chainsaw with me to cut down any little things that have grown up and got in the way, and my long strap, and let's go see what we can do. All right, we're at the entrance of the trail. Looks good here. Let's go back in and see what we find. Hopefully it's not too muddy. We'll go back in low and four-wheel on. Well, that wasn't too bad. So I've got one, the biggest one is already down at the bottom of the hill, so it's going to be fine to deal with. I can pull it out or hook it up to the puller without too much trouble. The path is going to be pretty tight in some spots, but it's a lot shorter. And it is wet, but I think it's actually going to be better than some of the other places. My next option will be to try to take everything up this hill. But this hill is, for the most part, at about 45 degrees. And at the bottom here, it's probably closer to 60. I have to just about lay on the gas tank of the ATV to get up there. So that's not a very practical option. All right. This time I've actually got my tripod with me, so let's get a camera set up and see if I can get these logs in place for pulling. It's very sticky. I should have brought a cantilever with me. Yeah. I can't do this without the cantilever, so I'm going to run back and get one. It is steep back here. Well, because these logs are so fresh cut, they are really heavy. All right, let's get the ATV in here and see what we can do. The humidity is just through the roof out here. Wow. Well, that came out a lot easier than I thought it would. Thank goodness. So we'll get it into position and ready for the log skidder. I think we're actually ready to try to skid these out. Just finding a spot to turn the ATV around is a real trick back in here. All right, let's see what happens. So that's the biggest of the two. It took a little bit to get it to pull out of there from the branches, but so far we're doing okay. Now what I have done with both of these is made sure I slung them from the large end, so I've got the smaller part in contact with the ground, and I've also got the branches kind of, or what's left of the branches, going in the direction where they'll work more of a skid rather than an anchor. So as you saw, things are pretty muddy. This isn't the conditions I would normally want to pull things out in, but we'll let things dry a little bit before we come back here and take anything else out. So let's continue and get this out of here. Wow. Well, that was pretty unbelievable. And this is a good sized log, but we got it out. It took some pulling, but boy, this thing works well. Now that I've got figured out how to choke it up properly and that kind of thing. So let's drop this log, we'll get the tractor, put it up in the log bunk, and then I think we got to get ready to go. We got a party to get to. Well, we're back from our birthday party. We had a lot of fun yesterday. I thought it was really nice to take a bit of a break and get away. But today it's raining again. Things are pretty wet out there, as you saw from this video, and it's just getting wetter. So it's getting a little more complicated to get out into the back part of the bush to get these trees out. And I don't really like going out on the trails when they're that muddy, because I don't like chewing things up out there. And I had to do some pretty hard pulling with the ATV to pull those logs out, but it was important to get them out or I'd lose them. And I've been giving the remains of that pine tree a lot of thought. So I've got that one standing trunk left, and it's pretty big. It's probably 26 inches at the bottom, so much too big for my mill, but I really am having a hard time just thinking about leaving it there to rot, because that was actually the best part of that tree. So what I think I'm going to try to do is go back out and take down what's left there, and I'm going to try and slab cut it down to about 17-inch square if I can, and then I should be able to pull it out, and at that point I can process it very nicely up on my sawmill. It will fit in quite easily. So I just don't like leaving stuff behind like that. It's a waste. The other thing that you saw a couple of times in there is that big dead pine. I've been really tempted to try and cut that down, but it does scare me. And it's on the side of that hill, which, as I mentioned, is about 45 degrees, and it's completely rotten. And my biggest fear with that, because it is a monster, is it barber chairing, and that can be a very scary, if not fatal, experience. I'll put a link to a video of a pine barber chairing right here. So click on that, have a quick look at it, and you'll see what I mean, how dangerous that can be. Anyway, I'm thinking I'm still going to leave it. So my log skidder has really worked beautifully. So that I got from Home Depot, and here is the ad for it. Now, I was really surprised when I looked at this again to show you guys a little more information on it, at the price on it. I bought mine about 2 months ago, and the price has already gone up over $600. So this really shows you the effect of inflation with transportation, fuel prices, and that type of thing, because this part comes out of the States. And wow, over a $600 jump. That's a lot. But anyway, I got my logs out. I got a rainy day, so I'm going to do a little bit of repair work, or maintenance work, I should say, on my chainsaws, get them ready to go again, and then we'll get back out there as soon as we can. I've got a couple of jobs down at Arts, one that I think would be pretty interesting for you guys to watch, which I hope we can get underway very shortly, but we need a dry day to do it. So with that thought, we're going to call that the end of today's video. So thanks very much for watching, guys, and we'll see you out on the trails the next time.